6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome in to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm WPRC Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. We have another First Alert Weather Day that has been declared for tomorrow. As we head over to our graphics here, just want to show you our big concern this weekend and into next week. It's the dangerous heat and poor air quality that's going to be in effect through Monday of next week. So watching out there tonight, we're looking at the hourly forecast showing those rain chances around 30 to 40% you can see through this evening. And then that sky is going to clear out. We've had some pop-up storms out there, but if you do have plans, you're heading out tonight, we are going to have some improvements going into this evening. There are some pop-up storms still out there over in East Alabama, Heflin, back in towards Ashland, some big lightning producers. You can see right there. These storms I mentioned earlier on the news, it looked like Lineville. We might have a storm kind of move back in our direction, but this thing is just drifting south. It's hardly moved. There's one you can see outside of around Rambert over outside of Heflin over in Cleburne County, but north of Hamilton, we've had a pop-up. Not seeing lightning with this at the moment, but stay alert if you're anywhere from Hackleburg to Hamilton. I tell you what, south of here down towards Brilliant, we had quite the lightning producer earlier, and we've had some heavy rain in some spots, but it's been very isolated. Right now we're at 88 out at the Birmingham Shuttlesworth Airport. We did reach into those 90s for today. Check out the time lapse here from Red Mountain and watch this storm. It went severe. This is that cell from earlier today, and look at how that thing just grows there, and you start to see the heavy downpour, and it pops up, and then it dissipates, but we get all the cloud-to-ground lightning. That was back in towards Adamsville and Graysville earlier today. But here's what we're looking at for tomorrow. Heat index, again, 100 to 106. Look, one of the reasons, last week it was the heat index. This go around, we're looking at about a 10-day stretch every day for hours where we're going to have temperatures in the 90s, and I know that brings on an entirely different set of challenges trying to plan ahead, plan around this heat. So just want to make sure we keep you well informed there on how long this is going to last. It looks like through most of next week. This weekend, highs in the upper 90s, close to 100 on Sunday. We could set some record highs on Sunday. The record high is 101. It's going to be close, and maybe a few afternoon storms. I was just talking with meteorologist Tania Michelle, and Tania is going to certainly be here also for this weekend, keeping a close watch on those pop-up storms across the area. But Tania's coming up. We're going to be talking about a lot here on Weather Extra today. We've got more on the heat that's not only here for us and what's impacting the nation, impacting a lot of areas. Some lightning damage photos. We're checking in with Mets around the world. I believe this time, where are we headed? Italy?
No, not this week.
Not this week. Okay. Okay. Well, it'll be a surprise.
Colorado.
Colorado, okay. Well, okay, we'll go to Italy next time. So we got a lot lined up for you right here. You are watching Weather Extra. More after the break.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Good Day, Alabama.
A new morning comes with preparing right, because while you slept, news broke.
We have new information from that breaking news that happened this morning.
While you head out, the storm we gave you the first alert for is on its way in. And as the key turns the ignition, your shorter route to work is being found.
Avoid 459 southbound completely because of a crash.
A new morning means everything you need for a good day is on Good Day Alabama, always on your side.
The First Alert traffic you need to get you there safe and on time. Tomorrow morning, everything you need for a good day is on Good Day Alabama.
You're late, out the door, and on the go. Don't worry.
Good Day, Alabama continues all morning long.
And wherever you watch, this is what you need to know right now.
More reporters on the streets with more hours of news when you need it. Everything you need for a good day is on Good Day Alabama. knowing first is everything. First Alert Weather.
Hey, welcome back in. I'm First Alert meteorologist Tania Michelle, and we are so excited that you're tuning in here on this wonderful Friday. Well, you know what we always say when lightning is in the area. When thunder roars, you go indoors. But lightning requires or actually causes so much damage, and it actually caused some significant damage to a building in Massachusetts. Take a look at this video.
We just kind of sat there for a second like, yo, what the hell just happened?
What happened was a lightning strike in the south end that left neighbors on Mass Ave shaking.
Every situation.
From an explosion of sound that could be heard for miles.
I thought somebody was breaking in. I was convinced. I was like, the lightning came inside the house.
It's easy to see why Jason Jernigan felt that way when you watch his home surveillance video.
Because the way it lit up so much, it blew the pans off our walls. You could just hear stuff rattling, and then we looked outside and we could see everyone looking around.
The lightning strike destroying a chimney at the building next door, sending bricks crashing to the ground. But despite all this debris and the building taking a direct hit, nobody was injured. But the whole incident that was caught on video is something this neighborhood won't ever forget.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I used to love going outside when it was raining and lightning, but you won't catch me outside anymore like that.
Yeah, lightning is not to play with, and we saw some lightning today from those storms. A few severe thunderstorm warnings were in effect. But now let's talk about the heat, because more than 150 million Americans are facing dangerous heat conditions like we are. And this is going to continue as we head into the weekend. And while summer travelers are used to storms wreaking havoc, aviation experts say extreme heat can also pose unique challenges in the skies and on the ground. Karen Kaifa is in Washington with a look at what passengers need to know.
It is not just the West feeling this triple-digit heat. The heat wave has spread here to parts of the I-95 corridor in the east and also to the Midwest. And if you're wondering what that has to do with an air-conditioned airport terminal or a temperature-controlled plane, aviation experts say it's more than you think. A heat wave stretching from coast to coast into this weekend.
And even those places that are used to extreme heat have never seen it as hot as it is now for as long as it's been.
And those making a getaway should prepare for air travel disruptions, not just from summer storms, but extreme heat precautions too. Daniel Jacob of the University of North Dakota Aviation Department says the higher the temperatures, the less density in the air.
The aerodynamics behind lift or for an aircraft, the wings to generate lift is that it's dependent on the density of the air.
That means planes need less weight and longer runways for takeoff. Carriers may choose to carry less fuel or drop baggage or reduce passenger load. He says the safety of the ground crew is under consideration as well as they do the heavy lifting to service, fuel, load, and unload planes. Extra safety breaks to keep workers hydrated and cool can also delay flight schedules.
It's obviously going to affect the turnaround time for aircraft because these folks will have to go inside to a cooler place to, cool themselves, get some water, be hydrated.
To beat the heat, try an early morning or late night flight when temperatures are cooler and comply with flight attendant requests to lower window shades and open air vents when a plane is parked at the gate to keep cabins cool. The extreme heat could also be pushing jet fuel and gasoline prices higher. Analysts say that the high temperatures have sidelined some refinery capacity at a time when gasoline inventories are already a little bit low. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
So we've got the storms and the heat, but now it's time for Mets around the world because it's Friday. So where are we headed today? How about Boulder, Colorado? Let's meet meteorologist Cole Vaughn with NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. This is another segment of Mets Around the World, and today I'm super thrilled with our guest. We have meteorologist Cole Vaughn on here with NOAA, and I cannot wait to share his meteorology journey. How are you, Cole?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Okay, so first of all, we want to know about where all of this started. Where did you find your interest in weather?
Oh, it started back when I was really just a kid. I do not remember a time where I did not love the weather. And honestly, I feel like that's kind of the story for a lot of meteorologists, right? Like, it's kind of boring. But there was not one big weather event for me. I've just always loved it.
Very nice. And so where did you go to school and where did you first start to indulge in pursuing your career?
So I went to Mississippi State and just graduated with a PhD from there last December. Got a master's there before, and then earlier got a bachelor's degree in communication. So got the triple crown, I guess you could say. And sorry, what was the second part of your question?
Oh, yeah. No, just talk about how your college process was. You got 3 degrees from Mississippi State, and you said you just graduated with your PhD. First of all, congratulations in December last year.
Yeah, just last December.
Very awesome. So how was that process for you? First going into school, did you find it difficult? What were some of the challenges that you faced?
Yeah, I had no intention of getting a PhD, so going that route was very unexpected for me. Yes, it was very challenging. I didn't really know what I was doing. I had earned a master's degree, but was still very naive to the research process. And the PhD is kind of going to work those kinks out. And so, yeah, it was a great experience. I had an absolutely fantastic advisor and research team, and I cannot speak more highly about the Mississippi State Meteorology Department. So, yeah, I absolutely loved the experience. It really grew me a lot in terms of learning how to research, and not just that, but learning how to be a scientist. I had a lot of weather knowledge prior to that. But I feel like the PhD really took that knowledge and turned me into a scientist, and learning how to think like a scientist. So, yeah, those are probably the big things that I learned out of the PhD process.
Well, very cool. So Cole, what is your specific area of research within weather? What did you research?
Sure. Yeah, so mostly I research weather communication. I work less with like hard meteorological data, and I actually work more with people, understanding how they understand weather information, their perceptions, their interpretations, what can influence that. Because ultimately, the goal is, if we're going to communicate weather information, we need it to be received well. And the public and other people that are using weather information to make decisions, they need to be able to have that information in a way that's usable for them. And so that's kind of what I focus on, is learning more about how people interact with weather information.
Very nice. So what does your day-to-day look like now? So you're with NOAA. Can you explain what exactly you do for your day-to-day tasks?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm a research scientist with NOAA. So I'm not really doing any weather forecasting. That's all now just fun and games. I'm generally on a project or 2 or 3 at a time. And I'm either, the project could be focused on social science, type things. So we're talking with people and learning how they're going to use or interpret weather information, or it could be maybe developing a tool or something that's being used and understanding how we can incorporate what we've learned about people into that to make sure that tool is meeting their needs. And so day to day can vary. I wouldn't necessarily say there's a lot of structure, but every day I'm working, maybe I'm, reading some articles to understand what's been done in the past, in past research, what other people have learned. And maybe, trying to adapt that so that I can create my own project out of that, or, using it to provide support for another project.
Very nice. So do you have a typical schedule, 9 to 5 with NOAA? Do you get to work remote? Are you in person? How does that work?
So we're hybrid. So we can be in person and or remote. Yes, it's kind of just your typical 9 to 5. That is one thing that I love about it. It's hard to find a typical 9 to 5 in meteorology because the weather is always going. So yeah, I really like the fact that it's a 9 to 5. Yes. And, now, like if there's a storm, I can sit on the porch and watch it. I can go chase it. I can go do whatever I want to do. If you're on TV or if you're working for the Weather Service, you are there when the storm is happening. So, there is definitely freedom in not having a job that is focused on weather forecasting. So.
Well, you heard it right there. If you are interested in working for NOAA, you can reach out to him, okay? But can you believe that's only part one to Cole's story? Next Friday on First Alert Weather Extra, Cole shares his advice to aspiring meteorologists like you. But we can't jump too far ahead because we still need to check in with Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt for a look at that 7-day forecast. We'll have those details for you. Well, he'll have those details for you right after the break. We'll be right back.
We heard the first alert. Mom says we have to go. She says I don't have time to grab any more toys.
Need to be in your tornado safe place. Get there right now as you have.
We have to get to our safe place because sometimes when you hear the siren, it's too late. That's why she says knowing first is everything.
We know weather can be grab the umbrella or jogging shoes, but it's so much more. It's a science, an art, led by knowledge and experience.
And no one has more of that than a WBRC First Alert weather team.
Warning you first with more hours committed to you. And the first forecast built to see weeks, days, and even minutes ahead, right down to where you live. From the team you trust on your favorite screen.
Doing the weather better. The WBRC First Alert weather team always on your side.
The first alert is more than a warning. It's a promise. A promise to get you out of harm's way with plenty of time to spare. 4 walls and a roof can be replaced. Lives can't. That's why knowing first is everything. First Alert weather.
Welcome back into Weather Extra. We had some pop-up storms that helped us out today, but most of that wet weather has dissipated. So we'll be quiet here for the rest of the night from most areas. Maybe an isolated storm through about 8 or 9 o'clock. You've had some rain, so what happens, it cools things off. So there are some little outflow boundaries out there, and that might set off a storm right around sunset. But overall, the temperatures out there still back up to 88 in Birmingham. I mean, the storms, they pop up and they fall apart so quickly, the temperature is able to rebound, and sometimes it even feels more yucky after we have the storm because it adds that humidity, adds that mugginess. So I know for tonight it is going to be quite humid in some areas. Now the model data, it still shows maybe some areas where we haven't seen as much storm action today. We could see an isolated cell over the next couple hours, but by tomorrow morning, another quiet start to the day, but a hot day for tomorrow. We're looking at about a 10-day stretch here with temperatures at or above 95 degrees. And I went back and looked, and back in the drought of 07, we had a 24-day stretch going into August where every day the temperature, it topped out at 95 or above. That was a record-setting stretch. We're looking at about 10 days here. So you can see the concern for all this hot weather as we plan ahead. Any steps you can take, make sure you keep those blinds down during the day. Help out the AC. It's going to need a little help here with these hot conditions, trying to keep up over the next several days, keeping that house cool. May need to adjust the thermostat and maybe hold off on doing the laundry until later in the evening. Some different steps, just some things to consider, but most importantly, we want you to be safe. We want you to stay cool out there. Take frequent breaks. The air quality does improve a little bit for Saturday. There's not a code orange air quality alert, but if you have asthma, very sensitive to those poor air quality conditions, I still advise you to don't overdo it. Don't overexert, and make sure you take frequent breaks throughout the day tomorrow. A few isolated pop-up storms tomorrow, no notice the data here. This is 3 o'clock. It certainly doesn't look as busy as it was today at 3 o'clock. So the outlook on rain tomorrow not as robust as what we saw across our area today. But Sunday similar, just a few pop-up storms. We have Freedom Fest happening here in Birmingham tomorrow. Big event there, afternoon into the evening. We've got Freedom Fest. We also have the Legion game. So whatever events are happening tomorrow, that chance for storms will be quite isolated for the evening. In the tropics, we have a couple disturbances, one off of Central America. There's another disturbance, and actually this, I think, has helped us out with some of those pop-ups, especially east Alabama, down in parts of Cleburne County and areas south of there, but very low chance that we're going to see a tropical system out of that. Out in the Atlantic, we have another disturbance. See back in here, actually the cloud pattern there looks a bit more ominous to me. It's over the central Atlantic, but the data is showing this turning to the north. You can see now a 60% chance for development over the next 7 days. But if you notice over the weekend, if you get an alert, hey, we got a new tropical depression, just know it's likely going to be far away, no threat, way out in the Atlantic. So through next week, it's First Alert weather days, isolated storms in the forecast as we look ahead to Wednesday and Thursday. Not a major chance of rain, but any of these storms that pop up, it's a little bit, it's kind of tricky when you talk about these afternoon storms because where they do pop up, they mean business. Intense lightning, locally heavy rainfall. We had some areas today, a quick 2 to 3 inches of rain. Yeah, so be alert as we watch those afternoon pop-ups. Timing-wise, mostly 2 p.m. till about 8 o'clock in the evening. But hot weather on the way, so that's what we're going to be tracking. Tania, seeing that big 100 there on Sunday. Could see that again on Monday.
Oh, man, Wes, not looking forward to it at all. I need some water. Where is it at? Okay, anyway, stay nice and hydrated this weekend. Make sure you're doing all those summertime precautions, taking breaks, and checking in your family members, your loved ones, and even those fur friends too. That pavement can get very hot very quickly. But it's also Friday still. It's still Friday. And you know what else we have to check in on. We got to check in with meteorologist Mickey Ferguson for Mickey's Weather Kid on Good Day Alabama that aired earlier this morning. Let's see who the special guest was today.
Mickey's Weather Kid is sponsored by First Federal Credit Union.
I'm here with Michael Stevens, and Michael, you're about to start school again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what grade you going into?
I'm going into third.
Third grade. You excited about it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you wish it could be summer all the time, or you like school?
I like school.
You do? So you're looking forward to going back to school?
Mm-hmm.
You make pretty good grades?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. Now, I understand you got a crazy cat at home.
Mm-hmm.
What does your cat do that's so crazy?
She jumps on, one time she jumped on my mom's door frame and she sat there, and then she jumps across the walls.
Across the walls?
Mm-hmm. She goes back and forth.
Got a wall climber there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Why does she do that?
I don't know. She's just a crazy cat.
Okay, well, that explains it, I guess. Got a crazy cat. Well, Michael, can you help me do the weather real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks. I really appreciate it. You know what? We might turn this way. Let's look this way. And what is going on? Why is this such an important day? What's going on up there?
First alert weather day, long period of heat, poor air quality.
That's exactly right. So if you're out playing soccer or something like today, you need to drink lots of fluids and try not to overdo it. Sound like a good idea?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's look over here. And let me borrow your arm. What's this city right here?
Birmingham, the highest is 78.
Well, that's the actual temperature reading right now. Yeah, yeah. What else? What other city you want to point to?
Pell City.
Pell City way over there? Yeah, go ahead.
73.
Very good.
And
then let's get one more. About, do you know this city's name right here?
Clanton?
Yeah, that's right. What's the temperature?
76.
Yeah, 76 degrees. Now, what do we think is going on about lunchtime today, about 12 noon?
93, 20% of rain.
Okay, and let's look over here. And what's the high today?
97 and 40% of rain.
40% chance of rain. That rain might help us out a little bit, cool things off. So that would be kind of a blessing. All righty. So you got going back to school, what, in August?
August 9th.
August 9th, going to be in the 3rd grade. Don't know your teacher's name yet, do you?
No.
Okay, so anything else you're going to do before summer's up?
Play with my friends
That's
and ride my hoverboard.
Yeah, and what?
And ride my hoverboard.
Ooh, that's cool. I would do that with you, but I don't want to hurt myself.
Well, maybe you should get a hoverboard seat.
Maybe you should. Oh, that's a good idea. Kids, if you want to do the weather with me, tell your mom or dad. They go online to WBRC.com. There's a little drop-down menu. Click on the Good Day link, and you got to be between the ages of 5 and 12 to enter. And every kid who's picked gets a First Visa gift card for 25 clams. Do you know what you're going to do with that?
No, it's American First.
First.
No.
First.
No.
It's an First Visa gift card. It's not First?
No.
Yes, it is.
It's American.
Well, I know it's America's First, but they like to say First. It's like hip. First, you know? It is America's First.
Smart. He reminds me of another Michael I know.
All right, let's check in with you.
It's called you.
Great job.
It's called you.
He told Mickey. He knew what he was talking about. Oh my gosh, let's hope I know what I'm talking about. Let's look at the 7-day forecast. A 30% chance for showers and storms tomorrow and on your Sunday. First alert weather days continue through the start of next week, Monday, for those dangerously hot conditions. Look at that. We can easily see triple digits for some of our counties on Sunday, and we might reach 100 degrees at least for some of our areas on Saturday too. So keep checking in for those daytime highs for your specific area. For Monday, it looks like rain chances are still on the minimal side, a 20% chance. First alert weather day in effect, like I mentioned, throughout the weekend and into your Monday. 99 degrees for a daytime high Monday. Overnight temperatures, I say, are very pleasant. So if you want to be out late at night, hey, listen, 70 degrees, can't go wrong with that. Or early morning. Here we are looking at Tuesday, 30% chance for those isolated showers and storms. That pattern will continue through most of next week. Well, looks like we'll have anywhere from a 20 to 30% chance as we bring in next week through next Friday. Isolated storms for those afternoon hours. We're talking, like Wes said, between 2 to about 8 p.m. So just keep that in mind. But that wet weather is exactly what we need to help cool us off, even though it happens very briefly, I know. And we're looking at still plenty of breaks in between those showers and storms. Lots of sunshine over the next couple of days. That typical summertime pattern. If you want to learn more about that typical summertime pattern, you can tune in to First at 9 in the next couple of hours. Thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert Weather Extra. I hope you have a safe and wonderful Friday evening and enjoy your weekend, everyone. We'll catch you here next Monday. And hey, we'll see you then. Have a good night.